looks like. All of the cubes laid out in front of you as well. Okay.
So, any thoughts, people? I mean, I feel if it's enemies opposed, then we should do let's see, lawful good. Let's see, Mao the snake. Where you, Mr. Snake? Guess this is the snake. Oh, I can't move him.
Oh, sorry. Let me change that. Token lock. It should be fine. Oh wait, that's weird. It won't move on my player screen either. Okay. Well, Snake.
Oh, somebody just moved.
I just moved one. But go ahead, Snake. Where do you want Snake? I'll move him for you.
Snake upper left.
Okay.
So that was lawful good. And opposite of that would be the in the show it was the monkey that was across of it, so I'll put the monkey in the lower right.
Okay.
Chaotic evil. Then what was the next pairing of statues that were across from each other?
That's a good question.
Sanity flies over and checks what the second pair of statues were.
It was Ijin and Obalaka. It was the bird.
The bird and the rabbit. Yep, so I put the bird in there, and the rabbit across from it. Chaotic neutral and awful evil. To fly back and let me know what the other ones were that were across from each other.
Sure. It was Kubazan, the Froghemoth, and Papazatl, the Eblis.
So I'd put the frog here, Papa there. And then I'd keep the snail and I'd put the other two in the other spots.
Okay. Alright. 1 second. I'm gonna switch back over the scene. I'm probably gonna freeze. I'm not gonna touch anything for a second, so you guys are gonna be a moment. So you were doing this with Sanity and Mage Hand, correct?
Yes.
And you're standing where you are?
I was around the corner from the door.
Okay. Okay. As you put in that last block, you see as a stone slab instantly shuts down right in front of you, Wilmore. And Sanity, no chance to be able to fly out of there. You just hear a hissing sound expel from beyond the door.
Well, that was wrong.
And a couple moments go by, about a minute altogether, and the door slowly groans back up, and you see that Sanity has vanished, no longer there. And all the cubes popped out of the holes.
Chaddington, why did you put the third set of cubes not in the top right and bottom left corner? Why did you decide to go for the center row?
No clue.
Hmm.
Uh,
Give me 1 second. As I take
I
a
wouldn't
step.
go in there if I were you.
No, I'm gonna go to the west or east. And I kind of just give myself a little bonk on the head as I cast light from my bald head. And
Look at Chaddington while he's doing this. Like,
so what are the first ones?
yeah, you see once again the snake and the monkey, and then the rabbit and bear, the bird and the froghemoth, and the frog and the cat.
All right, so let's try this again, Chaddington, but in order. Perhaps you can use your mage hand to place the cubes in there.
And
I'm certainly not going in there.
Chaddington, you've kind of been hugging up on this north side in that tunnel. You know, not going anywhere else from where you're standing right now.
I'm not going in there. Kind of like step back a little bit because that door is probably a little too close for my comfort.
As you stand about like right where you are, you feel a tug from your neck pull you towards the west a little bit.
Like over here?
Yeah. It begins to, as you get kind of like closer to the obelisk, the necklace seems to like almost like activate, and your neck, you feel like you start getting pulled over, like someone's like threw a cane around you and starts pulling you that way.
Well, this is interesting.
I thought you took the necklace off, though.
No, you
Oh
left
yeah,
it
no, I
on,
did
right?
take. Oh, we could say I
He
have it
put
on.
it. Okay.
I'd take it off now, and I'd put it in my mage hand. And I mean, should we investigate this, guys? I'm at a loss here. Just kind of, maybe just. He was neutral, Mr. Snail.
yeah, I suggest we investigate that and come back to. Never killed your bird.
You can give it a shot. So it went west, not towards the obelisk, but just over to the west.
Correct.
All right, I'm gonna just kind of walk that way. Rod of alertness, detect magic, all that good stuff over here.
Okay. As you do that, detect magic and all that. You're using the no, just rod of alertness. Okay. Not picking up any magic as you scan on over in this area from where you're standing at currently. As you get a little bit closer to, let's say, no, you're still not really picking anything up. As you get about there, you pick up some evocation magic.
Further to the west.
Coming up to the north, and as you stand about like where you are now with your passive perception, you can see that there are thick foliage that looks to be covering some sort of archway in the cliff face.
So maybe try to pull some of that down a little bit.
Yeah, you begin to pull some of it aside and clear it out as much as you possibly can. And that did not just reveal. As you do that, you can see that there is, you start pulling away all the foliage and heavy undergrowth. You can cover that there is, in fact, an archway underneath this cliff face. There's stone skulls that peer down from this lintel, and old bones just litter the threshold all around. And you can see as light strikes as well the entrance, a swarm of bats screech out and fly overhead and just kind of skitter by you. It's not revealing, it doesn't look like, on my player's side right now. Let me see if that's the problem.
Is he light?
Let me just draw this wall. Actually, I'm just going to erase this whole area. There you go. That should work better now. So yeah, Wilmore pushes aside some of this foliage and stuff and sees that there is some sort of archway with a skull on which is skeletal corpses, remnants on the ground in here.
Guys, should we take a look at this?
I'm going to walk up to where Charrington is, but kind of make sure to follow around the similar footsteps that he did there.
Sure. You follow him around and kind of tiptoe through here, and yeah, you see, it's kind of surprised on how he was able to find this. Very well hidden and covered up here, but that passive perception of his, he was able to peek through and see a little bit of the opening of that archway beyond the cliff face here. It's a little hard for you guys to see from where you're standing, but you definitely push on through there if you'd like.
Can I see all those skeletons?
Yeah, you can barely see, it's pretty much like the view that you can see as you guys pushing aside all this foliage.
Well, looks like whoever last tried to go in there never left, so. Wants to go first.
Why don't you, big boy?
Hey, well, I do have things to do in Daggerford, so.
I mean, you do better if there is another poison scare than either of us do.
A poison scare? That's the last thing I'm worried about. Your bird just went in there and disappeared.
I don't think it disappeared. I think it died.
Poisoned.
Oh. Okay, if you're scared, I guess instead of standing around here, I'll give it a shot. Gonna walk up.
Yeah, you continue pushing forward, and you see that there are a couple footprints leading up into here as well as you push aside everything and you start walking all the way in there.
When I see him doing this, I follow. I'm like, I can't.
Yeah. You follow in behind him. Fan, you see them both disappear.
God damn it. I'm gonna follow them in a second, but is there anything on the walls right here that might help us at all?
Nope.
Did Chad
You want to
pick
grab
up
the
the
cubes while you're over there?
Oh, great, thank you.
But as Solrak and Wilmore, as you guys get on in here, you see that there is another slab of work stone beyond here. It looks very similar to the other one that you guys saw, with grinning skulls marking the edges of the slab. But on this one, you see that there are 9 cube-shaped cavities arranged in rows of 3.
And there were 9 cubes. I look over at Chaddington. It's like, I have a feeling that one, trapped one, necklace one is leading you to this one. This is the right one.
We can go get Fang to bring the cubes over. We can try it again.
I poke my head out. This one, Fang. Bring the cubes! We found something!
I'm like, okay. Real kind of reluctant to. And I move up right here. And I'm trying to reach him with my quarterstaff. Come on. Are they too far away?
I would say they're... Nah, you could probably... Yeah, they're probably just too far out of your reach, actually, from where you are.
Oh my god, shit. Oh, man. Well... I'd like to think that the reason Sanity died was because the cubes were put into the holes. So we should be okay. Fingers crossed. So I like run in there real quick and I, like scoop them up and then run out.
Shimmy in, shimmy out, and I mean, you're sweating as you go in and out, and you do smell a bit of like an acrid smell as you go in there, but nothing that seems to harm you or anything. And scoop up arms full of cubes, and you meet back up with them.
Yeah, with my heart absolutely racing, I'm like, oh my god. Nothing happened, but that was just the anxiety right now.
Great job, buddy. Great job.
Yeah, thanks. I needed that. Alright. I'm a
whole bunch of bones in here, though, right?
Yeah, there's a bunch of skeletons in here.
Yeah, very reassuring.
So I'm not
Oh,
standing
gents,
in
now
there.
that we have the cubes, and I take a step back, you guys can put them in the matching holes this time.
I'm standing back here, and I'm mage handing them in and out.
Yeah, I'm gonna step outside.
Like, so I'll have to stand wherever to see the hole. So like right there.
Okay. So you pick up the cubes, and one at a time you begin to put them in there. Are you putting them in like how you did before, or are you doing anything different?
Put them in how I did before, and then put the snail in the middle.
Okay. Certainly. You go ahead and you do that. Placing one at a time in there. And everyone else is waiting with bated breath, knowing what happened the last time. You guys all tried this, and unfortunately, you guys lost sanity already. But as you do this, you place the last one in there. You place Unk, the snail, in the very center. All 9 cubes flare with this brilliant light. And as it pulses, it secedes, and you see all of the cubes have disappeared. And then, growling like an angry beast, the slab begins to slide up into the ceiling.
Well, we're already down 1. Shall we try this door?
Doing better than last time. Do it.
As you guys see this door, the slab move, another slab blocks the hallway about 20 feet beyond this first door, with an iron lever that is set into the door's surface, with a graven stone skull leering down from above.
That definitely looks like a trap. I'm gonna look around to see if there is perhaps the not so conspicuous as a lever. Perhaps like a push thing or something. I'm gonna touch anything, but I'm just looking.
So you're just standing where you are and you're looking down 20 feet then? And look for that?
Oh, that's
you're
a hole.
approaching.
That's 20 feet.
Yeah, it's to the very end where that lever is. It's about 20 feet away from you currently. You can't make out anything
I'm not
else
looking
really
at
from...
that. Yeah, I'm gonna
Like,
see if like on the sides or anything.
Hold on. Well, can we check out the bodies and see if they have like a big arrow in their head or anything?
Go ahead and make a nature or investigation roll.
Like,
Or
see if
medicine
we
roll.
can
Actually,
tell
yeah.
these ones died.
Nature and investigation's fine.
Nature investigation. I'm
Either
gonna do
one.
investigation. Oh, they're both the same. Nat 20.
Cool. You see, which is very strange to see on these bones. You see some black scorch marks that look like they kind of ride through the bones, almost like veins.
Yeah.
Probably a source. I mean, with a natural 20, it looks like they were definitely electrocuted.
I don't think we should be standing here while we're checking this stuff out, guys.
Based off of that, would we be able to know that they were electrocuted in this very spot, or were their bodies dragged out?
It looks like they weren't moved.
It could have either been because of the door or because of that thing. And so you said that's
They
a
didn't have the
it's a
cubes.
lever with a face looking at it.
Yeah, you see exactly it's like a raven stone skull with just leering down like from up top of the door, and then the center is an iron lever of the center of the
Look
door.
over at Chattington. Your hand die. What happens if you send your hand over there?
As
Pulls
long as
lever.
it's very light. Hey, it doesn't have much muscle. But we can certainly give it a shot.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. And then, but let's
Not stand
Stop.
here.
yeah.
Yeah.
I believe
So
Mage
I
Hand's
would,
only 30 feet, or is it 60?
yeah, 30
Yeah.
feet. But if I can go, I should be able to be like right here, just outside of the cave. Right? Like is that 30 feet?
Can you see it?
I can see it here.
And that's 30 feet right there.
Yeah, I can see it from here.
Hey, send the Mage Hand out.
All right, and
no, I'd be,
back up. Wait.
You guys may wanna-
Yeah.
You want to make some space.
I go to stand behind Soul Rack. Oh, hold on. Can't move. Is this a cliff or something?
No, you should be able to move through that. Maybe it's. Yeah, I'll just move you through it.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so the Mage Hand appears, begins going down the hallway towards the lever. Are you gonna try to pull it?
Give it a tug.
You see
Pull the
Mage Hand
lever!
kind of like goes and cracks its knuckles and stretches real quick and grabs around the lever, and you see it's straining, trying to pull it down, but it seems stuck or at least unable to move it.
Yeah. Seems like one of us might have to do it then.
That was anticlimactic.
Here.
Can I so I'm gonna go back into the room and detect magic again. Hit it up with the rod.
You cast Detect Magic in here, and you don't seem to pick up any sort of magic radiating up from, before you or anything.
Detect poison and disease? Nothing.
No, you're not picking up anything. The, just like Detect Magic and like evil and all this stuff, like it can't break through certain barriers, right? I'm pretty sure.
I think it's like 1 inch of metal, 1 foot of stone, thin sheet of lead.
You
3
did
feet
not
of
pick
wood.
anything up.
Gents, I have an idea. What if I kind of glided over there without touching the ground to the lever, kind of examine the entire area, and if everything looks all right, try and pull the lever.
That sounds good. Idea.
I think that's our best bet.
We can give that a shot.
I just kind of sit down real quick and say a prayer to myself. I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen, but here we go. For the wrecking crew. And
Hey, cast guidance on him.
and I kind of just do like this little heel click, and right out from under my feet is just like this little ball of like swirling air as I cast fly on myself.
Ooh.
Yep.
Or not fly. I didn't know that's what we were gonna do. Can you only do that like once a day?
No, I have to spend 4 key points to do it.
Well, let's I may have another less big thing that can try to get through this door. Let's just give it a second here. Just kind of give me a minute, and I'm gonna cast silence. I'm gonna cast silence through a ritual, like right around it.
Around the lever.
Yeah.
Sure.
And then I'm gonna go. Let's just back up a little bit here, guys. Just back up a little.
All right.
That bad?
And I'm gonna play. Where was I standing last time? I can see the lever. Yeah, I'm gonna go now. Now keep in mind, I don't want to do this much, and I'm just gonna like snap my fingers and cast knock on the door.
You go ahead and so you're just doing it on the door. Or are you trying to pull the lever, or just trying to get the door open essentially?
Just if it would just open the door. Hold on. How does it work? The object can be a door, box, a chest, set of manacles. Oh, I can't, because it's a lever that I gotta get past, not a door.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on a second then.
I liked Fang's first idea. I'm just gliding.
I don't know if I like that you like that.
That's valid. Solrak, what do you think?
What do you think? Should we glide, or should we try the spell that might not open the door?
Well, if you want to fly and preserve Fang's gliding, I could always take out Griffey, but then obviously we can't use Griffey again for a few guys.
How many key points do you have, Fang? You have like 9 or something?
12.
12, yeah, so 4 is a lot.
Let's use Griffey for this, guys. I'm gonna take out my figurine.
No. Save Griffey for when we need him. I've got one more thing up my sleeve.
Put him away.
I'm going to ready Misty Step, and I'm gonna run in there, pull the lever, and Misty Step out.
Okay, so you're just full on running in there.
You guys think that's even a good idea, or do we want to just fly? Because I mean, we should probably use key points instead of Griffey.
What makes you think necessarily what makes us think that being in the air is gonna save us?
Well, I'm technically not grounded, so from a physics standpoint, I can't be electrocuted.
I'm wearing metal. I can't.
Yikes.
I'm
no,
covered.
but maybe it also has to do with even just stepping foot into the room. You don't know.
You know what?
Plus,
I'm more and more liking
You
this
guys didn't even
fly.
make it that far.
And plus, I'd like to maybe examine the walls a little bit, even more so that that shaft. I mean, Solrak is usually the one to check out shafts, but I guess I'll take one for the team.
I see what you did there.
I mean, since
I haven't stopped looking at shafts in a while though, because you have your nice bald head to look at. It's kind of the biggest shaft I've ever seen. And then I rub it.
Of course,
he does love rubbing shafts, doesn't
Yes,
he?
he does.
You gotta do it for good luck.
You guys will
I
make
tell
it
you
in
what,
here one
Fang.
day.
So
I tell you
So-
what, Fang. If you want to fly in there and this works out, you're officially the smartest one in the group, my friend.
Not
would be
really,
nice.
but just say it now.
Well, I
Alright.
mean, I mean, Solrak's over here too scared to take 2 steps into any room, so.
Hey, you're the guys. Told us not to take steps in.
Yeah. And I whispered to
idiot.
Paddington, it's quite some barbarian, huh?
Barbarian of the scared. And I
Mm-hmm.
So
Go get 'em,
You
buddy.
stand out
Come.
here. You kind of are starting to pick up with your lichen senses a bit of that putrid smell that you guys really began to smell as you landed down here.
Uh-oh. Gents, I think we have to act fast.
give it a shot, my friend.
Alright, here we go. I can kind of click my heels. And again, out comes this little ball of swirling air right from under my feet as it lifts me up off the ground. And... Oh, shit, hold on. Fuck.
And he trips and falls.
There we go. Yeah. Ow. And I start to glide across. I get to here, and I start, like, checking out the walls.
Don't see anything on the walls at all. Actually, go ahead and make a perception check.
Okay. Oh, 20.
20? Nice. You begin to look at the walls. You don't see any markings or writings or any kind of glyphs or anything. But on the lower part of the walls, kind of like where it meets the floor, just a couple inches above that, you see what looks like some like scratch marks into the stone of the walls.
Is it symmetrical by any means?
No, not really symmetrical.
Okay. Scratch marks. And then I kind of... Are there any other, like, holes or anything like that in the wall?
Not that you see, no.
Okay, I... move
Actually,
forward.
with a 20 perception, actually, you would spot on the floor, there seems to be a seam that kind of runs along it. The center
where?
of it.
The center?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's very hard to see, but with you're looking around and perceptive of it.
Okay. And does that shaft kind of fall like on the center?
What do you mean? Say that again? Like in another way?
Like where the seam is like the shaft lined up with that seam?
Oh, the handle? The
Yes.
lever? Yeah, it is, pretty much.
Alright. Okay, so I stand like not on the center of it, like off to the side that there's not scratch marks.
Are you standing or flying?
Oh, I'm sorry, you're flying.
Yeah.
Flying.
Okay.
And I continue to move forward
Mm-hmm.
till I get to right about here. And is there like any sort of... Because what I'm assuming, or what Fang's assuming, is that this seam is obviously some sort of trap. Am I able to detect like any sort of like clue as to if there's any sort of direction that this trap may kind of fall into? Like left side, right side,
No,
just
you
straight
see
up
the
and
seam
down?
in the very center. So you'd imagine that, it would probably all encompassing.
Do I see anything on the ceiling?
You just the skull, the Gravenstone skull. Kind of, it's not on the ceiling, it's like on the top of the archway.
And there's no writings on the lever?
No writings.
I fly back out real quick. Giantson, let me see that pendant real quick.
Toss it to him.
I throw it on. Do I feel anything when I throw it on?
No, it seems to be like kind of... humming with like almost a with a sense of like it's what's the word I'm looking for? As if it's like in like it's activated. It's like in its right place.
Okay. I glide right over into the hallway to see if now I feel anything else.
Nope.
Okay.
Same old.
All right. I move up. And can you describe the skull on top again?
A graven stone skull leering down, just smiling at you.
Huh.
You guys begin to hear commotion out from outside. In the bushes and the foliage.
I yell back at Fang Fang. Whatever you're doing, you better do it quick.
I'm trying. Is it just looking at me? Can I see where it's looking specifically?
It's looking straight down, but you guys begin to hear these noises coming in louder and louder.
Fuck. I kind of like
hungry growls approaching from everywhere.
Ah, fuck.
I'm gonna run into where Fang is and push Charrington in.
As you run in there, the skull's jaw creaks open and a skeletal hand holding out a crystal hourglass-style timer emerges from within. With a click, the timer rotates and starts to trickle down into its lower globe.
I pull the lever.
9. You pull the lever?
Yep.
You pull Chaddington in? Chaddington, did you go in with them?
Sure. We're gonna see what happens here, I guess.
Okay. As you pull that lever, the floor splits open from underneath you, Fang, just as you saw, and you see as you guys all fall down into this spike, or the floors begin to split open. I need everyone to make a dexterity saving throw before
Can
do this.
Can I get advantage with slow fall?
You can just fly if you want to.
Oh, that's true. I am flying.
I can see this, right? So I get advantage.
I'd say it's a surprise though, so it's a flat roll. I won't give you any sort of disses on it.
15.
I'm gonna use a lucky though.
Okay.
17.
Okay. Both of you guys fall down into the spike pit, just barely wedging yourself in between some of the spikes. Solrak, you just get poked by one of them and impaled just barely, a little bit, taking a little bit of damage. Let's see. You take actually, you don't get impaled at all because you make the save. You only take 5 points of bludgeoning damage, both of you guys. But just barely missing these spikes from impaling through you guys.
Since we're about 5 yards
And
into
the
this.
timer, as it ends, clicks back over, retracts into its mouth, and the slab opens up. And you guys can hear the ferocious growling, groaning coming from beyond the cliffside here.
So the floor's still gone. We're in with the spikes, and we're below the door now.
Yep, it's only about a 10-foot drop.
Oh. Is the door open or no?
Oh, I'm sorry, it's a 20-foot drop. The door is open now. Yep, after that, the timer flipped back over and receded back into the skull. The slab of the door went down.
Well,
Guess we just had to wait. Huh.
just had to wait a couple seconds. I'm gonna pull out my broom, zip zap zoop, and fly up, and I'm gonna go. Fang, don't you have that that rope of climbing to help Solrak out?
I actually got some rope, so I just yank it,
Oh yeah.
throw
you
it
do
up
that too.
there so you guys can help me pull me up.
Yeah, so I kind of land ever so gracefully, right here. I'm still flying though. I have about how much time has elapsed by now?
From when?
From when I first started flying, maybe a minute,
Uh,
2 minutes.
you've been taking your dear time. I'd say it's been 3 minutes to 5 minutes at least. You've been taking a long time.
All right, so we'll say I got 6 minutes left of my
Alright.
concentration. So I'm still gliding, and Thorek throws up the rope, and I see if I can find somewhere where we can tie it off.
Easy enough. You guys are able to do that. But Silrak, as you begin to climb on up, you start to hear some dark guttural sounds coming from beyond the cave wall or the cliffside wall.
Yeah, someone's coming right at us.
Get yourself out of there, buddy.
I'm pull myself out.
Fang, as you stand there, you feel as 3 poison tipped darts fly right in your direction. 26 to hit. 21 to hit.
Yep.
And 25 to hit.
So those all hit, but I'm immune to disease and poison.
Okay, you take then just 6 points of piercing damage as you feel the poison all begin to get into your flesh, but it does not seem to burn you at all. And you look down as though you were standing on a pressure plate that has been triggered with these poison darts shooting out at you. And Silrak, you're out of there.
Well, no, I'm flying.
Oh, that's right, you're flying. Well then, that doesn't happen.
All right.
It was all a dream.
But you are Wilmore as he gets in here now. He does notice that there are some moss covering the walls of this behind this door. Tree roots all hanging out from the sagging ceiling, and the air reeks of rot and damp and just death in here. And ahead, down the hall, you can see a bas relief carving of a bearded devil's face adorned on the wall at the T-shaped intersection, and the devil's mouth is opened with a well of utter darkness. And beyond that, a little bit of the moss and everything, you can see a few holes sticking out, and you look up ahead, and you see a couple of pressure plates as well.
In the mouth or in front of us?
In front of you.
I just kind of like stop everybody, and I'd be like, well, seeing the darkness, and I go, it sounds like in the darkness it hides. I think each of those sayings may have something to do with each room. One stands between them. I don't get that, but here we are. Let's try to get through this. I'm gonna... So I can see the pressure plates.
Yeah, where those
I
two
know.
X's are.
Okay.
Do we
So
see anything like else like that? Maybe like anything on the walls that might shoot out at us.
No, he did see some more holes in the walls. Little tiny holes behind the moss, but nothing
I think
else
we just
outside
need
of
to
that.
not touch those pressure plates. I
Yep.
think we'll
Careful,
be all right.
guys, as I just glide right here, and I'm checking out that face a little bit more intently. Again, just seeing if there's like any booby traps that might, or just something that I guess doesn't seem right to have like on a normal face.
You can make an investigation roll if you want. Sorek, as you get in here, anything that
Muted.
you're doing? I said you can make an investigation roll if you'd like. And Sorek, as you get in here, anything that you're doing?
I'm looking around at the walls to
Big
see
ol'
if
four.
there's anything that might pop out, shoot at us, something like.
Just the holes that have been spotted by Wilmore, and he's pointed it out behind the moss and the pressure plates that he's also pointed out to you guys. With 4, nada.
I'm just
Not
gonna
a
zip
thing.
zap zoop, and I'm flying slowly, and I've got my rod of alertness out, detecting magic.
Okay.
And I walked, but I followed the path that she chose.
Cool.
The
As
the
you-
darkness in the mouth. Is there any magic or?
Yeah, you seem to be picking up some sort of illusion magic from within that area. Just kind of all around the face. But yeah, the face, it's sculpted from stone, as you guys, come up here and approach it, and it seems to almost melt seamlessly into the surrounding wall behind it. And its mouth it's pretty large. It's wide. It's like 3 feet wide, just gaping with this blackness.
And like that's the end. Like it's just a wall, and that's the only way out is the face.
Yeah, I mean, you see the T to the left and the right. There's a path you can
No,
go
I
through.
don't. It's like a V.
Well, bring your light up there.
Can't move it.
Oh, that's weird. There we go.
Yeah, no.
Now you should be able to.
There we go. Come on.
And then let me turn on Solrak's light. He's got his light on. Fang's got his light on. Yep. Actually, he has dark vision on too, and he shouldn't. There
And
we go.
me?
I got you. It's all fixed. As you go on up here, Wilmore, with the globe illuminating the way a bit, you can see to the right, it looks like a open hallway that leads down to a larger corridor. You can see a railway kind of leading over a balcony of sorts, maybe some stairs down below. To the left, though, you see a crystal window with creepers and vines that cling to it and the walls. And it's about arched crystal window, about 6 feet wide and 10 feet high. And through it, you can see a dark chamber. You see a skeleton walking around behind there, kind of strange looking. The skull of the skeleton is a little peculiar compared to what you've seen before. It's almost shaped like a triangle and has like notches in the sides of it. And he just kind of wanders around past the window and out of your sight.
To the left is a window we can't get through, or a crystal window. To the right is a balcony, potentially some stairs. Directly in front of us is darkness.
Coming out of that mouth hole, you just see darkness.
Right. Well, gentlemen. Thoughts?
Did you try using your true sight?
I think maybe Are we sure we want to go in there? Did you guys see the giant skeleton?
Well, he didn't.
There's a bit of a giant skeleton in there.
No, you saw the skeleton beyond the crystal window, and it wasn't giant. It was humanoid sized.
Oh, well, scary skeleton.
Mm-hmm. Giant to Wilmore.
Well, I do have my Dawnbringer here. Good against dead things, so not really that worried about him.
Let's
Worried about dying in this goddamn hallway, though. So
should we see if there's anything to the right, or should we go into the mouth? I could cast a detect or dispel magic and see what that does to the darkness.
is that something you can only use certain times?
I've got 3 of them.
guess you don't really use it that often, so yeah, it could be worth a shot.
That. So detect magic.
Oh,
The
fuck,
darkness
back
is clearly magic, right?
Say that again.
So using detect magic, the darkness is it's a magical darkness.
Correct.
Well, in the darkness it hides. Should we see what's around the corner first before we go in here, or?
It's probably a good idea to take a quick peek. You sure?
Maybe we can, you guys can get a little closer in case there is something around this corner?
Yeah, but I'm waiting for someone.
Yep, sorry.
People out of the way.
Sorry.
Just leaving Sorak for the 2 spaces with the pressure plates on.
Chess man.
Carrington, did you see any more of those pressure plates in this hallway?
He does not.
Don't think so.
And there is a point over. I see this is a real grate, right?
That is a real grate. Correct. Yeah, you see a rusted iron grate set into the corridor floor.
Went over to that. Could always be an entrance to something.
As you go through, you see through its bars that there is some muddy water flowing slowly past it.
Maybe that's the darkness there, Sorek.
The doo-doo darkness.
I feel like the darkness might be in there, and I point to the devil mouth.
Should we see around what's around the corner?
Let's take a peek.
Let's see. I take my quarterstaff and just kind of poke it through like the mouth of the mask and cast light in its mouth.
Okay.
See if that does anything.
Yeah. So you approach the devil's face and you put your quarterstaff in there and you cast light.
Yeah.
Okay. As you do that, you go ahead and stick it in there and poke around, and for a moment, you cast a spell and you don't see any light emitting from there. It's strange, like, you should be expecting to see something, and you get a little bit closer, and then all of a sudden you see a black claw scratches out towards you, and following behind that, as you quickly dodge out of the way of that, flying out of the way, you see the shadowy demon form begin to emerge from it in this spectral form with its black wings spread out wide and long curved horns protruding from its head, and its black claws that went out to go to scratch you begin to viciously scratch in the air towards you still. I need everyone to roll initiative.
I knew there was the darkness.
I told you. He literally said the darkness. 17.
Oh wait, I still have my thing for initiative, right?
Yep, you can roll a
And,
d8. Come on. Get above them.
6, yeah.
Is,
So yours is 17,
is this a-
Wilmore?
Is this an undead creature,
Yeah.
Nate?
It is not.
Damn.
You see this fiendish, demon-like creature shrouded in shadows protrude from this dark, shadowy hole. And you're quick to react on it, Fang. What do you do?
Yes.
Mine's actually a 12, Nate.
12? Cool, I gotcha.
All right. Let me see. Okay.
Do you still have the light shining on your helm right now? Well, I guess if you cast the light...
It only works on undead.
I'm just asking you a different question.
Is
Because you cast it on your head earlier, and then you cast it on your staff. So I'm saying that you don't have light on you then currently, right?
not on my head. I casted it in the mouth of the mask.
Got it. Okay, go on.
All right. But I think this is what I want to do. Yeah, we'll try this. All right, so this fiend standing in front of me, my circle of blasting starts to kind of glow as I shoot 3 beams right out from it in its general direction.
Those are ranged attacks, so because you're within 5 feet, it would be at disadvantage. You can move away if you'd like.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, he will take another claw attack at you.
No, he won't.
Oh, that's right, that's right.
I'm fast as fuck.
Oh, no,
boy.
because you have to attack first, right? For him to do that, or to not get an opportunity attack?
I think I
It's when you make a melee attack against a creature, you don't provoke opportunity attacks. So this isn't even a melee attack either. So no, he'd make it, but he misses. So go ahead and go take your shots.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's see.
Sorak's facing him, just ready to take him down. I can tell.
So 20.
20 hits.
It would be 3 separate attack rolls.
3 separate attacks.
20.
Just like Wilmore's Eldritch Blast.
16.
16 hits.
Oh yeah. Oh, not 20, baby.
Nice. And this is fire damage, right?
Yes, it is.
Nice. So go ahead and roll damage for 3 of them, and then max damage on top of 1.
9 damage. 6 damage, womp womp, and then here you go. Jeez, 4, and then max damage would be 6 more.
It'd be 12 more.
Oh yeah.
Okay, with that 3 Scorching Rays shoot out, hitting center of mass. It doesn't even seem to flinch. Like, it didn't really hurt it too much. I mean, you see some of its essence singed away, but not as much as you would expect from hitting 3 directly in its body. Anything else for you?
That is let me see something real quick. No, that's gonna be everything.
Wilmore. Go ahead and turn.
Yep.
I am going to.
More clump. Sorry, I was talking to my dog. She had a big old clump.
A clump?
I'm gonna blast him. See what happens.
He said he's gonna blast him.
The 1.
So, anyways,
19,
started
13.
blasting.
Nice, 13 damage. Hits directly. And that one seems to definitely do the full amount of damage.
Nice.
Exploding
19
on him.
and 9.
Nice. Oh, yeah.
22 and 14.
You see bits of his essence just being blown away. Some darkness just clinging like shadows along the walls after being blown off of him. That's it?
And then I'm gonna
Okay.
step back. Just 1. Yep. And then I'm gonna move down here. Yep. It's right there.
Begins to move towards Sorak, the closest one to him, but the radiant brightness of the Dawnbringer seems to, as he begins to run on over or fly on over there, seems to like shriek in anguish from that and begins to fly back towards Fang instead, and reaches out with some claws. 19 to hit.
I just dodged out of the way of that one.
Ooh, just dodging out of the way of that one. He goes and tries to do it again. A 15 to hit.
Yeah, and that one he just whiffs.
Yep, and with that, you see bits of his shadowiness just being pulled from him, and he is not as strong as he would hope to be. Sorak, you see as he goes to try to attack Fang, and bits of him being whisked off. What do you do?
I see that he doesn't like Dawnbringer. And I just take a look at Dawnbringer and say, well, girl, looks like it's your time to shine. And I'm gonna move right up to it. Standing between Fang and him. And then I'm gonna take a swing with Dawnbringer.
Go for it. You see, as you approach, his eyes are squinting. He puts up his long, mangly claws in front of his face to try to protect himself from it.
Swing number 1. Dirty 20.
That'll hit.
And you said it's not undead, right?
Not undead.
7 damage.
With that slice, you see as the radiance of the Dawnbringer just completely singes away parts of that shadow, like cutting through it, way stronger than any of the other attacks have done so far.
Oh!
Or more effective.
I take a big old grin. Say, bitch, it's time to die. And I go for swing number 2. That is a 27 with 8 damage.
A massive swing. His once kind of macabre smile at you guys now turned into a solemn face of fear.
Swing again. Ooh, that is a nat 1, but I'm gonna use a lucky
Okay.
roll. Oh, baby. Oh, yeah, 19, so 29.
There you go.
Damage.
And that one also just cleaves through, leaving a massive streak from its body. You see as a bunch of that essence just streaks across, flying past Wilmore. And Wilmore, you see it disappear into the shadowy darkness as well. Bonus action?
Go ahead and use my demon sword. Is a 15.
15 hits.
Sweet, and that's 10 damage.
Cool. With that, you see as he's definitely looking extremely beat up now, and on his last legs, if he had legs, he's just floating in front of the two of you and looking very weak and withered. Fang.
All right.
I whisper, saying, finish him.
Alrighty, all right. And I'm just gonna try something here, as I just kind of point at it, and just say, "Let the bells toll," and it's gonna be Toll the Dead.
Yeah, wisdom
Just
save.
gotta make a wisdom save. 17.
20.
Fuck, man. I feel like we never get
I
any.
Toll the Dead is like such a good cantrip, but I feel like so many times it just doesn't connect.
It
I
never
mean,
works for us.
17 is high.
No, it's and he has a +1, so it's not like, it's a great wisdom score. Yep.
But I can try that again, right?
No,
For
you
a
cannot.
cantrip? No.
Nope.
Damn. All right. Well then, cool. I'm gonna say, all right, Chaddington, try and finish him off, please.
He's playing telephone with Solrak's message. Wilmore, you're up.
Wilmore, you're up. And then I turn to the right and I go, Wilmore, finish him off. And then I start blasting.
Let's see it.
14.
14
hit.
just hit.
Oh, it's 11.
That one, you see a big chunk come out of it, and it's almost like falling down to the ground now.
23, 14 to hit, or 14 damage.
And with that one, the last Eldritch Blast cracks into it. You see the shadowiness explodes out everywhere and just clings to the walls and vanishing into every crevice of the darkness in here. And then coalesces and vanishes back into the demon's mouth and is no longer there.
Out of the darkness he came, and out the darkness he goes. Goodbye, bitch. Dawnbringer a kiss.
Do we want to check out the darkness with Dawnbringer, maybe, or should we just keep on going?
Not a bad idea.
Could you maybe, like wave Dawnbringer by the darkness and see if anything happens. If it doesn't go away, I don't think we push further.
I'm gonna go ahead and where the demon came out of,
Cast guidance on Solrak while he's doing this.
flash Dawnbringer around.
Yeah. Just go to do that. It's strange. The blade of the Dawnbringer like vanishes as soon as you put it into the mouth. It almost seems like the mouth eats the light completely, and you can't seem to see anything within there at all.
I got one more thing I want to check out.
Take it out.
Soul Rack backs up.
Dawnbringer's like, "No, put me back in the darkness."
I'm gonna pick up a rock, and I'm gonna throw it into the darkness.
Pick up a rock and you throw it in there, and you hear it hits instantly into like the back of like a stone wall or something, and then falls down to a descent.
Falls down.
See, I hear that descent sound. I immediately look back at the crate and say, "Jans."
Or I mean, there's stairs over there.
I feel like on the poopy water,
That is
the
true.
last creatures.
Shall we try the poop, gentlemen?
Take a vote, you guys. We don't have to go down the poopy water.
Wilmore, as you are, closer over here when you have the drift globe over there, you do see that grand chamber opens ahead into a 50 feet across and plunging down into darkness down below with a stone balcony that kind of winds around the walls to connect 4 archways. And down below, you can kind of see that there are other balcony levels that are a little bit visible now with corridors radiating off into different directions. And to the north, you can just see around the corner, there's a stone staircase that descends down into lower levels.
Into this like big area.
It kind of like is a big square area that spirals down to a few different levels.
Well, gentlemen, we can go this way. We can go that way. I point into the demon's mouth. I go, or we can go that way. And I point to the grate.
As you point to the grate again, you see that skeleton just walk by the crystal window once again with the skull carved into the shape of a triangle with notches in it, and it just looks at you guys kind of slowly and just keeps on walking around in that room.
That's the shape of the skull, or it's carrying it?
It's the shape of the skull. It's like carved. Almost like off the top of it.
Right.
So it's like
Yeah.
that.
Well, it's like you see the skull's face, and then like the top part of the skull itself is carved into like a triangle with like notches.
Yeah, so he's got a triangle head.
Yeah.
I go, guys, I feel like we're gonna find our way that way at some point in time. And if we're going down the list, this is clearly the darkness where we crushed it. Next is don the mask or be seen. Maybe that's a mask. We have any triangles we could put on our heads?
We have to get it.
Because personally, me, I'm fine, and I snap my fingers, cast disguise self, and I now have a triangle head.
You can see that there is a room beyond that crystal window. You can't really see, from where you guys are, you can't really see much, but there is a room beyond there if you were to peer through it.
How big is the head that the darkness came out of?
Oh, it's a pretty large head. It's take soul racks and divide it by 2.
Massive head still though.
Yeah.
Maybe we have to go through the crystal room. It definitely seems as if it's alluding to some sort of disguise that we have to put on.
I definitely think that. I'm actually going to walk over here more and I don't know if I can see anything more out here. Okay, I can. Yeah, so I can kind of see across.
Oh, yep, you're going out to the staircase.
I'm not going to the staircase, I'm just kind of going over to the ledge to just kind of like...
Well, as you go over to that ledge, you do see, I'll go ahead and put you back over here. Oh, you're not moving on my player screen for some reason. You're on the edge of the rail right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you see anything?
Nope, I don't.
I see that.
Okay, you do see that?
I do.
Okay, alright. That's what you should be seeing. But you see a hunched figure glares up at you from the balcony down below, wearing a mask that is a replica of the devil face at the tomb entrance. And without saying a word, the figure just steps out of sight.
Guys, I think we have to go after whatever the fuck that was.
Well, I think.
Describe the creature that I just saw.
Yeah, what you saw was kind of like a dwarven, like height and shaped man, but like I said, wearing that devilish kind of mask, and wearing like all sorts of like hodgepodge clothing and fabrics thrown over his body. And looking at him, go ahead and make a investigation or perception check. Solrak.
Did I not see him?
You did, I guess. You just told me that you didn't see him, but yeah, go ahead and you can.
I mean, like,
as
I
well.
literally didn't see him on the screen.
Yeah,
but
that's
I
just
would've-
funny.
Yeah.
Or if you didn't see him on the screen, then you couldn't see him. But I have
I guess
better
not.
vision.
That's true.
Yeah,
He's
no,
got
I
the
literally
dark
like
vision.
he came across at the end, but yeah, I guess that makes sense.
So Solrak, yeah, you would tell them that his flesh, it definitely looks necrotic and like withered and deteriorated. It kind of reminds you a little bit of like with a 20 on there, like Ross and C's flesh, and like Harsh Nag's.
Oh. First, you guys.
But he's wearing a mask to be hidden. Do you think he's good?
Could be how he survives here. Perhaps we approach him with caution. Try to talk with him first.
I feel like we need a mask though.
Yeah, I think we need a mask. Perhaps to survive in there, you gotta have the mask. Look back over at the crystal room. Should we try to go in there and get one?
I don't know if there is any in there.
If there's any masks in this hellhole, I'd be in the room of crystal.
Shall we? Can we like see?
I'd take a peek through the window where the skeleton guy was.
You go over there and
See.
approach it and look through.
I don't like stick my whole head through. I just kind of look out the window and see if I can see crystal room. If I can spot a mask or anything.
Yeah, go ahead and go
This
to
guy.
where you are so I can give you an appropriate gauge of what you do see.
It would be in here, right?
No, the crystal window is all the way to the left.
Yeah, it's this one.
The colors that you see over there. It's like a stained glass window.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so you're going like right there.
Oh, I see him. Yeah, like it would be in the middle, but I guess it's not.
Yeah, if you hold control, you can get off the grid and put yourself in the center if you want. So hold control and like move your token.
Might be command first.
Oh yeah, I guess for Apple.
Oh.
But anyways, you see in here, it's a vaulted tomb with overgrown moss and creepers and vines growing within it. In the center, you see a stone sarcophagus rest on a stepped dais. In the walls behind the sarcophagus, you see two large statues of bears gripping a 5-foot diameter bronze disc embossed with a dozen glaring eyes. Along, you can see 6 desiccated corpses slump on thrones in niches along the walls. And each one of these corpses wears a black mask made of paper mache and feathers. An arched crystal window, as you see before you, gives you a nice viewpoint into here.
I went over to like the bodies and said, "Gents, they have masks."
Do they look like the mask the other guy was wearing?
It does
Do
not.
they? Oh.
Nope. What the one guy was wearing was like a very devilish demon mask, like you guys have like see before you, Wilmore. The sculpture in front of you. These are black mask made of paper mache and feathers.
The issue with that, gents, to me is, I don't know. Seems like, just from the saying, it seems like there's a lot of eyes in there, and not only that, but when I think of Don the Mask, I think of only one particular kind of mask.
I guess that devil mask sounds like it could be the one.
That's just my 2 cents. I don't know what you guys think.
Don't know.
Perhaps the devil masks fools demons or whatever's in here. Leave you alone. Has to be a demon.
I think whatever that is not necessarily a bad person. And I think we're supposed to go down those steps. I don't know about you guys, though.
Or do we see where the sewer takes us?
Ugh.
You did see also as you got up to the side of this by the stairs, that there's a passageway that goes up, to the north and to the south as well. And then across from the stairs, there seemed to be a passageway that led east.
So maybe we do head over there. I'm gonna go over to the crystal just to see everything, get a good thought of the masks and kind of all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So I know it.
Here, let me put your drift globe over here. Maybe you'll be able to see a little bit more even.
Yeah,
Maybe
I
not.
see that.
Look, see? That all taught where you guys place your tokens, where things matters. But you'll see. So behind that tomb, that sarcophagus, you see the 2 large statues of bears gripping a large bronze disc with the eyes embossed on it, and then niches around all along the walls. You see the 6 corpses wearing the black feather mask.
Kind of see that. And, okay. But yeah. All right. Cool. So shall we try the stairs? If we want to really go in there, we can probably go up and around, would be my guess. Unless we want to try the darkness again.
Kind of kicked its ass, though.
I feel like you should go after that guy with the mask.
Kind of with that as well. I don't know about you, Charrington.
I do like a good mask. Would be interesting if there's another living creature down here.
Could have information about the curse too.
As long as he's not the doomed child. Because then we can't tell the truth to him.
Well, I didn't see it. Sorak, did it look like a young fellow?
Let's say you can't really tell the age, but you could tell the height and size of the creature, or the humanoid.
He's very dwarven-like.
Yeah, short and stout.
That's a worst case scenario. We just shouldn't tell the truth to anybody down here.
It's true. We should approach anything with caution. and do very minimal speaking to it unless required.
Shall we try go out here and take a look at the area again?
Go back to the ledge. I'm gonna point where he stepped off to. You went in
further
here
north.
or down here?
You saw him on the balcony down below, the level below you guys, and then he vanished somewhere out into the darkness beyond that.
So we would have stairs.
Yep, and like you guys see obviously in here now, as mentioned, there's a hallway that leads continuously up north past the stairs. You see across the way, because Wilmer can just throw his drift globe out here and float it out there. You see there's a passageway out to the east, and there's also one up to the north, which doesn't want to illuminate for some reason. Oh, because where you guys are standing.
I go ahead and cast light on my head again.
Fang begins to shine once again.
And I move on over to the rail as well. Just kind of take a gander. Whoa.
Oh, you're right, Carlos. Let me, tense or mystery? I think tense.
I also think that.
So we can go north, we can go east, or we can go down.
Wait, hold on, guys. I feel pretty tense right now. I need a second. Continue.
Smoke a bowl. You'll be right.
Right?
Oh, yeah. The devil.
Speaking of the devil's lettuce, as his camera goes off. All right, so what do you guys do?
I kind of take my
I
quarter
don't know what
staff.
you're talking about.
Oh, the shadow demon's back.
I move here, and with each step I take, like in front of my step, like I'm like pressing my quarterstaff down in the ground, like in like the tiles below me, and I'm also like looking at the wall to see like make sure there's no like holes for the traps of boobies.
Yeah, go ahead and make a perception check.
Yeah, while we're doing this, I'm gonna have my wand go off again.
Sure.
20.
Yeah, you don't seem to pick up anything right now, Wilmore, anywhere, really, except for the... actually, no, nothing. But the 20 Fang, you're pretty confident that this hallway seems to be secured.
Excellent.
He gave it an ocular pat down.
Let's
Shall we,
see.
Wait, where did I go? Where's my guy?
He's right underneath Wilmore, I see.
Off me. Well, I can't move myself, but instead we go down the stairs.
Oh, weird. Let me,
Because
Or do you wanna
Wilmore's
see
on
what-
top of me. I
do
can't
you
move
want
Wilmore.
to see what's north first?
here.
Here, I'm just gonna move so I can get off of him, but I'm not. Okay, stop it! Oh my god!
Alright, no. Alright, so, where to?
You guys don't want to see what's up north?
You guys walk up north and take a quick peek. I'll stand at the top of the stairs in case that thing comes. But
Yeah, it's a
don't
decent.
disappear. Stay within my eyesight.
Okay, I'm gonna go up here. Right around here, I'm gonna click my my rod again.
Still nothing.
I'm gonna like come up to the edge. Then I'm gonna float my orb. Go up. Around the corner, and then I'm gonna like peek with my head. But
Peek around the corner real quick, and you just see a long, narrow hallway that ends with a rusting statue of a knight that just stands there holding and gripping a large iron shield. Actually, I guess if you don't send the drift globe down, then you probably don't see that.
that's what I would do next. Flip down.
Go ahead and set it on down there. Yeah, and that's what you see. As bits of like shards and flakes of rusted metal cover around the floor of the statue's feet, and you just kind of pass over that with the drift globe. You
Is there
see
anything
um,
on the shield?
anything on the shield? No real signs of anything on the shield. At least not from where you're standing. It's quite far away and very dark in here.
I go there. If we turn that corner, that's probably where our big triangle friend is. And unless we can get one of them their masks, I don't think that's gonna go over well.
So you think we have to go in that room regardless?
I mean, I don't know if we have to. I mean, there is an entire old area over there. I'm just real interested into what's in that room. So like from where we were, like we've gone up like 30 feet, and then we went over 30 feet. So like it's like a big square, right?
Make a survival check. Yeah, if you were able to figure that out, map it out yourself, you'd be able to figure out something.
I got. It's an 11, but I got an idea. I hope I don't make them angry, but let's try one more thing. So I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna bring my drift globe back. Oh no, I lost my drift globe.
I gotcha.
Bring them all the way back.
Yeah, so right, because you're down there, you don't seem to notice any signs of any movement on the level below or anything.
I'm gonna stay put for now, but once time to move,
So I'm going to go back to the. Oh, that's what I want. I want to put the glyph globe like on me, so it's like in my pocket, or like not in my pocket, but like hanging off of me.
Mm-hmm.
This is where we came, right? Yeah. So I'm gonna go give nice little burst of this little shadow thing, because I don't want anything to do with that. Is there any? So when I'm looking through here. No, I don't want to go in the room. Nope. I can see the. Let me see. Let me select myself, and then do this. Right, is that going to show me the room?
Fang and Silrak, can you guys still see right now?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure, because it's not showing on my
I can't
screen.
really see Roman.
That's fine, because he's out of your range.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to do is see, is there a storm drain in there, and how far are the masks from me?
You don't see a storm drain. Closest mask to you is like 20 feet.
Well, Mage Hand pick it up.
Okay, okay. Let's see. You go and, so tell me exactly what you're doing.
So, kind of looking through there, seeing the guy, seeing all this stuff, and I'm just like, the mask thing's going over me. I'm just like, I want to know what's in here. So I'm going to cast Mage Hand, like, just in the room, just by itself for a second, and see what happens when there's this magical hand in there. Like, do the eyes start turning? Does the guy freak out? What's going on?
Okay. Yeah, as your hand appears in there, you see as the dozen eyes on the shield being held by the two bears seem to blink recognition that something has appeared in here, and begins to scan and watch as the hand moves about. What are you having the hand do?
It's going to go over and try to pick up one of the masks.
As the hand mage hand goes and grabs one of the masks closest to you. You just be able to slip it right off of the skull of this creature, this humanoid, and as the hand goes and grabs it, you watch as the decimated hand reaches up and grabs its mask and holds it back into place, and it stands up tall and looking around, not sure what to do, as it doesn't see something in there exactly, and it sits back down, mask in place. You just see that skeleton walking around too.
I'm gonna. Can I see another person with a mask on?
Yeah, you'd see another
just
one,
one.
to like your left that's equal
Yeah.
distant.
I'm gonna try the same thing on that one just to see if it wakes up as well.
Pretty much the same exact reaction that you get, and pretty much the same exact snap timing too.
I just sit there and go, I don't think I want to go in there. At least without one of them masks. Can I tap on the crystal glass?
You can do what you want.
Yeah. I'm gonna tap on the crystal glass. See if anything looks at me or.
Yeah. As you tap on the glass, seems like all the eyes on the disc seem to shift and turn into that direction and begin to look over there.
I'm going to. What is it? The spell that I can change the way I look, and I'm gonna look like I'm wearing one of those masks. I'm
Okay.
gonna tap again. See if anything happens. If they change the way they look at me.
Yeah, you see it kind of, as you create this illusion of a mask upon you, watch as the eyes that were once staring upon you just seem to kind of drift off elsewhere and not catching gaze on you anymore, or at least paying serious attention on you. They seem to look aloft and elsewhere.
I'm gonna tap on the window a little bit more, not aggressively, but like do like one more time with my mask on.
Still, it's kind of just scanning the room, but doesn't lock. Doesn't look directly in that location.
Just go. That's quite neat. That's still terrifying though. I kind of go back and I just tell everybody. So I might be able to get in there,
I'm gonna move your token.
but if everything tries to kill me, we might have a problem, guys. What do you think? I just kind of explain what happened. That if I put a fake mask on, they doesn't seem like they pay attention to me.
Well, you were able to make triple bullet time for us. You triple masks. We could go in there with you.
That was DM being grateful, and with it just being for fun.
Yeah, no, that's prestidigitation. I can't make a mask out of that. No, I think
And if you go in there, perhaps what you gotta do, maybe get us a mask. I'm willing to go in if something attacks you, obviously. I got your back.
I've of course got, a couple extra tricks up my sleeve to get me out of there in a pinch.
Fang, what are you thinking about all this?
What are you thinking?
Well, I mean, everything in here is trying to kill us. I don't know what to do from here. It seems as if we need masks regardless, but I don't know if this is.
I mean, if your gaze of these things is not looking at anybody, while you're wearing that mask, perhaps you could try to take it off of one of the big guys.
What happened? What were you just doing over there? If you don't mind me asking.
Check it out, and I'm gonna cast it on myself, and I got my mask on. I go, when I look like this, those eyes and stuff don't tend to see me. And like when I did that, the big sentient one that was walking back and forth didn't pay any like specific attention to me or anything.
No, yeah.
Okay, but how are you gonna get the mask for us?
I mean,
Yeah,
if they can't see me, maybe I just go in and take it.
yeah, exactly.
Do you think they don't see you?
I
Yes.
actually don't think the eyes saw me.
Okay.
My only question is about the big one, the sentinel kind of thing.
I mean,
but
it makes sense. Don the mask or be seen.
I think worst case scenario, I could always, teleport out of there if things go awry. But if they do, and that big guy comes out of here, no, it's not a huge sentinel to do that. Then, if that skeleton comes out, just make sure you guys do it. Is that what you do? Okay.
Don't worry.
That seems fair to me.
All right, we're gonna do it. And by the way, if I die, just remember this was all your faults. This was all your ideas.
I'm willing to take that.
You guys all going together up there?
Well, I'm gonna be like standing out at the window, but
Okay, so you're just gonna go down to the crystal window while he goes around and tries to find another way in.
Yeah, I'm also going to hang out.
Getting attacks or whatever.
No.
near the window.
I'd prefer you guys are around with me until I find the entrance to that room.
Okay. All right, fine.
And then that's fine. You guys can watch the show if you need to. But
Okay, so Wilmer, you begin leading the way down the hall?
yeah, so I'm gonna put the drift globe back out, and
Okay.
it was because like. Oh, that's sad. It comes to like a dead end here, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you see,
Myself.
Are you... There you go.
Yeah, there I am.
So yeah, you continue down this hallway, and yeah, as I mentioned, you see that rusted statue of a knight stands at the west hall, gripping a large iron shield. With all around the base of it, you see shards and flakes of some rusted metal, and just scraps. And then you do see like a passageway that goes up to the north and to the south. You can't really see much past that, but you do see it opens up there.
I'm gonna.
I stop chatting to him before he moves. Say, onto the statue thing over there. Say, maybe you want to mask up.
That's a
Feeling
good
that
idea. And I
Stand up.
cast Disguise Self to have the mask on.
Sure.
Stay
And
back for now.
I'm also gonna Rod of Alertness, magic, all that good stuff.
Okay, yeah. Let's see where you are. You're not picking any sort of magic up or poison or anything like that from where you're standing.
Alright.
Yeah.
We're gonna try to go out here.
Wilmer, as you stand into this room, getting closer and closer to this statue, you feel a pull come against your body, against your will, a magnetic pull, as you feel all your armor and your gear that's metallic on you begins to pull you towards this large shield. I need you to make an athletics check with disadvantage.
So I'm gonna make this check, and on a fail, I'm gonna Misty Step. If that's alright.
Okay.
2 nat 20s!
Wow.
Oh my god.
So what are you doing on a fail? So
On like,
yeah.
so if if it was like a pure fail,
I know.
like I'm seeing what's happening, but I'm like ready to Misty Step out of it.
Yes. You feel you try to skid your feet against the ground as the magnet of the statue of the shield or whatever is pulling you closer and closer towards it, and you somehow are able to stop yourself as soon as you get to one of these edges of the going north or south, and you're able to grab onto one of them if you would like to stop yourself.
I would like to stop myself.
Okay.
And then crawl back.
Oh, you're gonna crawl back to them?
Hold on. I'm sorry. So what's happening?
So you are pretty much, you've gotten to either this niche or the niche above it, and you're holding on to like the side of it to stop yourself from being pulled any further closer to the statue.
Okay. So I'm here, the statue's pulling me, and I'm holding on to the edge.
But pretty much as soon as you get in here, you feel it start to release that like pull on you. Like if you were to get further out of that room, it might demagnetize and stop pulling you.
So yeah, I'm gonna go south one more.
Okay. You guys see as Wilmore gets skidding across this room, he quickly grabs onto the ledge and swoops himself into here, and disappears down to the south from you guys.
I'm gonna like point aimlessly to them and explain to them like, don't go in here with any metal. It's gonna be bad. Solrak, maybe you can go and watch the show from the window. I don't think anybody should go down here. Oh boy.
Yeah, that's a good idea. And then I run around, but wait! I run around. Go to the window and see eyes on Paddington.
I'll drag your token there for you, just so you don't have to run all the way around. Fang, what are you doing?
I am going to hang right there.
Right where you are?
Yep.
Okay. Wilmore, as you go down this hall a bit, you do see with your massive passive perception that there seems to be, it ends in a dead end right here, but you do seem to see that there are some seams along that wall to the south.
I'm going to search for something that can open a door. Well, first I'm gonna detect magic again, and then anything.
Yeah, now you're getting some magic from the statue. You're getting some transmutation magic from it.
Got it. So now I'm gonna look around for like, a brick you push in to open a door or anything like that.
Yeah, I'd say with your past perception, you do end up finding like there's a loose stone that just needs to be slid over to one crack, and when it hits the edge of the crack, you'd imagine that it might unlock some sort of mechanism.
All right, I am going to put my fake mask on, and I'm just gonna sit there, and I'm just gonna be like, ooh. I hope this works. And I'm gonna just slide the rock over and open the door.
You hear the door just groan. You're muted, Solrak. But that sounds like a great plan.
Does this window look breakable, by the way, to me, or does it look made out of something?
I would say it looks breakable to you.
Watching Wilmore, and any sign of trouble, I'm breaking that window.
Wilmore, you see that door slide open, creaks, and disappears into the wall. And once again, you see this vaulted tomb. I'll give you the description once again. Overgrown with moss and creepers and vines everywhere. Stone sarcophagus in the middle rests on top of a step dais. And then you see behind that the bear holding the 5-foot diameter bronze disc with a dozen glaring eyes, and the corpses in the niches all wearing the black mask with paper mache and feathers.
I'm actually gonna sit here for a little while to see if the regular skeleton walks by, kind of like Sentinel.
Yeah, it just keeps on walking around this sarcophagus and circling around
Does he
it.
like look my way or anything, or?
Doesn't seem like he does. He looks over there as he sees the door is open, but doesn't seem to pay any sort of mind.
I'm gonna take a big deep breath, and I'm gonna step into the room. Once he's on like the other side, like if he's as far away from me, I'm just gonna just kind of step in.
Once he's on the other side, you said?
Yeah. Once he's like, I mean, I know he's walking around, but like when he's like his back to me, I'm just gonna like step into the room.
Sure. Yep. He just keeps on walking around and circling around, and you see the humanoids desiccated. You know, in each one of these niches, they don't seem to pay any sort of attention to you either.
Take another step in.
Fan, can you see the scene that's happening right now?
Yeah, am I supposed to?
I'm just wondering if you can.
Yes, I can.
Cool. Go on.
And I'm just gonna kind of like stand around and just nothing's happening. He's just walking around.
Yeah, he just keeps on circling around it. You just see these corpses slumped in the thrones all around too, wearing the mask.
I'm gonna come in right by the tomb. Can I? So like while he's walking, I'm gonna like skeech myself in, so I'm not in his path.
Mm-hmm.
Who's in the tomb? Can I see anything, or is there anything I can read, or?
Go ahead and make an investigation roll.
Oh no, that's intimidation. Like, can I use the 18 that I rolled though?
Yeah, what's your investigation?
Investigation is +1, so it'd be a 19.
Okay. Yeah, you see a on the sarcophagus. You see the lid of it is embellished with a like a bear-looking image on the front of it, and engraved on it, and you see other kind of like tribal geometric designs around it as well.
Bear. And it's 2 bears on the back wall with all the eyes.
That's correct.
Can I go take a quick look at the shield while I'm in here?
Yeah, sure. You can see that it's got the eyes, dozen eyes, just still kind of scanning the room all around.
Yeah, but they don't see me. And then I'm gonna hit the rod off once with detect magic.
Yeah, as you cast detect magic in here, you seem to pick up on the disc on the shield. Seems to be some sort of divination magic coming from that.
Just the shield?
You
Nothing on the sarcophagus?
On the sarcophagus, you don't pick up anything on that. But you do pick up Aura of Necromancy in the room as well.
Yeah, there's a fucking skeleton walking. I'm gonna cast a message to Solrak, and I'm gonna go, should I try for a mask or open up this bad boy? And I like tap the top of the sarcophagus like it's like a used car.
Open the sarcophagus first. Maybe there's more masks in there.
I'm gonna look to see how if it can open or what the story is.
It looks to be set on top, and there are no sort of latches or locks or anything. Probably with a bit of muscle, slide it off if you tried.
I'm gonna try to slide it off. I'm gonna cast guidance on myself and then slide it off.
Okay. Make an athletics check as you go to slide that. Try to open it up. Oof.
29.
A plus 10 athletics.
I
You
Yep.
as strong as
have
Solrak?
expertise in athletics.
That's insane. All
I've
right.
been waiting this whole time for this moment.
That's hilarious. You go on over, crack your knuckles, and you easily slide this off of the base of the sarcophagus. You slide the lid off a bit, and inside, you can see in there are these bones arranged in a small form of Zorbo, and the Obalaka, the monkey or the bear-shaped creature, lying in a dusty pile within the sarcophagus. And resting atop of the pile, you can see also a ring that has like a shield on it and a couple of gemstones and some runic engravings.
I'm just gonna go, they killed you, my friend. I wonder if your others are here. I'm gonna cast Mage Hand to pick up the ring.
Go and cast Mage Hand, pick it up, and as your Mage Hand goes and grabs that, dust from the sarcophagus begins to swirl into the shape of a small, feral, bear-like creature that billows out towards you with a ghostly roar. I need you to make a charisma saving throw. You can choose to fail this if you want, but yes.
15.
15. Okay. You watch as that.
Hold on though. It's the bear? Yeah, awful. Okay, keep going.
Watch as this bear-like spirit just rushes towards you, and you feel as the air gets knocked out of your chest for a moment and sends a chill up your spine, and you hear a voice inside your head begin to speak to you. And I'm going to send you something.
Discord or in here?
On Discord. And Luke, I saw your message. You fading on me?
I had to be up at 3:30 for work this morning.
Rough. I'd be up at 2:30 to puke. Okay. Yep. You hear this voice call out into your head, Wilmore. Only you hear this. And, Solrak, you see this happen behind the crystal glass. Wilmore pushes the sarcophagus lid off, goes and grabs the ring with his mage hand, and as he does, a small bear-like shape, a spiritual, like, ghastly shape, billows out towards him, and it vanishes as it hits his body.
As in, it went inside of him, right?
As what you perceived.
I'm going to bang on the glass first. Call out to Chaddington. I'm screaming, Wilmore!
I kind of like pop up and I kind of like look around and I see I'm in a room with like fucking skeletons. And I just go, yeah, 1 second. And I just immediately turn into like vapors and I just appear on the other side of the wall. I just misty step out of there and I go, whew. Whew. Not doing that again. What
Now
up?
you're on my...
Yep. I just kind of teleported through the wall.
Oh, God. Did you see that spirit thing? What the hell was that?
Did I see the spirit thing, Nate?
You did see it.
I think, that. I think that was one of the gods.
Shut up,
think that
idiot!
was
You
what
know who
I-
it is!
Oh, okay, I do know. Okay, I didn't didn't know I like fully understood this whole thing that just happened to me.
No, you don't understand. That voice echoes out in your head. It's like, you know who it is. It's Zorbo.
Yeah. Got it. Yeah, it was totally Zorbo, right? That's you, right, buddy? And I just kind of like stare off to the side when I say that, and then I go back to Solrak.
Fucking Zorbo.
I mean that's him, right? Come on, let's. I mean,
Did you get us masks?
I don't know. Mask? No, I didn't get any mask. I forgot the mask. But I got this neat ring. I kind of pick it up, and I'm like, it's nice, isn't it?
We're gonna take a look at Wilmore.
Yeah, make a investigation roll or Arcana roll.
Uh, 7.
So, I mean, Wilmore's being strange, but that's par for the course.
We'll put that ring on.
I mean, and I just kind of put it on. I'm like, it is pretty nice, actually.
Does anything happen when he puts it on?
Nothing seems to happen immediately, but it is a very nice ring, of course. You see it. It looks like a little shield almost sitting on his knuckles with a couple of gems in it.
A little shield, you say? Wonder if wearing that ring you could walk past the shield statue thing.
Shield statue thing.
Yeah, that's pulled you towards it.
Maybe, or maybe not. I think the whole point of this room was probably this fantastic ring. I mean, it does look good on me. I don't really want to go back to that. I think, yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe not. We can no. Maybe we go back to that other guy now, down there, the weird guy. Let's go find Fang, actually.
I'll drag you guys
Yeah,
over
he's
there.
pretty weird too.
Walking off.
And I'm just dumbfounded, but I'm gonna follow Wilmore.
I lost everything.
I gotcha.
Hey, I take it things didn't go that bad, considering, you're not fighting anyone, but at the same time, you didn't get any mask.
I think the masks were
Yeah.
only for that room.
Okay, well,
Then why is the other guy wearing it?
That's not the same mask, remember?
So,
nonetheless, if
I'm gonna go chanting and chanting. What's that over there? Over to where?
Hold on.
This way.
Before we get into that thing, what were you about to say?
So nonetheless, as long as we're not fighting anyone, I guess we can proceed with the plan of going downstairs.
So chant. What's that over there? Can you keep an eye out over there real quick?
Go over there. I don't see anything.
Whisper to Fang. Down Chattington. Spirit of some sort.
Oh.
Went into his body.
I kind of
Something's off.
eye chanked him up, head to toe. I'm like, oh, he seems to be acting like normal Chattington for now. Only time will tell, though.
Just watch him. And then I
Hey.
walk over to Chattington.
I guess
No, I'm sorry. Don't know what's wrong.
we should try and get this going.
I'm gonna get back over to the ledge. Say, well, should we find the masked gentleman?
Mask or the masked kid?
Ask a dwarf-looking guy.
Yes, that's what we should be doing.
Sure.
Get back over to the ledge. Sir, with me, I'll go down the steps.
Okay. You guys begin to descend down the stairs. Alright. Let's do this one at a time. Get my DM screen over. Make sure it's
I'm in
fully
the
loaded
back.
before I click anything. I'm gonna give it 3 more seconds. Alright, now I'm gonna click you guys over. Is it black?
It is black.
Let me see if I can do this. And
Oh,
we're
I
in
see.
business.
Mm.
Alright, let me go ahead and drop your orb out here. Give that the light spell. And we're back. Okay, as you guys descend down these stairs, you see, up to the north, there seems to be another screaming devil face, large, on the ground, and then down around you, to the right, you see a hallway that extends out, going quite far into a room, and then around the stairs, down to the south, you see, a wall that's down there that seems to have a strange door frame that has 3 humanoid heads sticking out of it and groaning and kind of gnashing their teeth, and as they have an iron bit bolted to a chain bridle attached to their heads, you see 3 zombies marching out of this door frame down to the south. But as you get to right about where you are, Solrak, you're about to walk down south a little bit, so you see a plaque on the wall right there.
What does it say?
And this plaque says, "The ring is a path to another tomb. The dead abhor sunlight. Only a jewel can tame the frog. Bow as the dead god intoned, or bow as the dead god intoned, my apologies, and into darkness descend."
Looks like the ring Shannon found. It'd lead us somewhere. Be a teletransportation ring of some sort?
Well, I don't
maybe it
really
opens
know,
a
to be
door?
perfectly honest with you yet.
Or it opens a door, but it does say, like, it seems that we have to keep going downwards. Fucking it.
We're
Ring.
down this
I mean,
hallway.
the ring could always be this stairwell, right? It is kind of like a circle. Well, it's a square, but maybe maybe put some sunlight in front of those dead people, or I don't know. Or
Maybe
what's actually
Dawnbringer.
down this? What's actually down this one? I just kind of like peek my head around here.
Which way?
Or I guess Solrak's already standing there. I'm standing next to Solrak. I'm trying to look down this hallway. Yeah.
You see, as about halfway down this hallway, you see a 4-way intersection go north and south, and then out of your sight. But then further on down that, you see that there's another room with this green and white checkerboard floor, and it seems to be kind of illuminated in there as well.
Huh.
The demon creature I fought hated Dawnbringer. So I think if I shine it neck by those dead things, I'd run away too.
Give it a shot. It's always worth it.
Alright.
Dead things are at this doorway, right? Right here,
Correct.
right?
Yep.
I'm gonna walk up to it with Dawnbringer up front
Mm-hmm.
and wave it at the dead folk. and as far back towards the light as I can.
Yeah. As you shine the light there, right in front of their faces, you see they're all gnashing and gnawing, trying to get towards you and bite at your flesh. Dawnbringer shines out at them, and you see they all throw up their hands and begin to walk backwards, getting away from you. And as you do, you hear the chains around their mouths that are on their bridles and the iron bits bolted to them begin turn taut. And as that happens, as they're trying to get away, you see the chains that are attached to them are attached to the door as well. And as they're moving away, the door begins to ascend up. And
look back at the guys and give them a double-eyed wink.
As they all try to run away from your light, you go and see another room beyond here with a large gilded chariot in the center of it. And let me go ahead and just give you the full description. You see 6 glass cauldrons brimming with humanoid bones line the walls of this tomb, at the center of which stands an ancient chariot bearing a bronze sarcophagus with treasure strewn atop it. The paintings on the chariot's body show a tall bird with a long, sharp beak. And on the south wall, you can see a bronze shield bears the embossed image of some sort of tribal warrior carrying a spear, and below, with some sort of inscription, which you can't read from where you're standing. But there are also 4 bronze statues stand on top of pedestals to either side of the shield, and they depict other warriors, one holding a sword, 2 with spears, and 1 missing its face. And as you get these zombies to pull away and open up the door for you, and you see this room before you, I think that's probably a good place to call it a night before we dive into this room.
Okay.
If Luke wasn't tired, we could keep going. No,
Listen, I was on call.
I'm teasing you.
I know, I was on call. Like, I didn't know if I was going to have to go in at 8 a.m. or 4:30 a.m. And I didn't find out until like 10 o'clock last night that I had to go in early.
That sucks.
Fucking BGE.
Oh, that's rough.
Stupid.
But yes, you guys have, as long as these zombies seem to be, as you've noticed, Silrak, are walking away from the door, the chains are tied to them, to the door, so as they move away from it, it lifted up the door for you. If they were to come back, you would imagine that door would slam shut again, but let me go ahead and just show. I didn't reveal these zombies, but here they are, moving away from you. And that's what you guys see. And we'll pick it up here whenever we get back together again.
Love it.
Whew. What do you guys think so far? I know it's a little bit of a slow burn to start, but lots of good, you guys are talking it out and making some solid decisions. Not just going in there guns blazing.
I love it.
Yeah, I was a little slow in the beginning, but now I'm not.
Hell yeah. Yeah, you guys, it just took a bit of your guys' time to get the gears rolling and figuring out what exactly to do and here, there, everywhere. But yeah, you guys are on the second level, so we'll see.
Really nice.
We'll see what happens. All right, guys, take a short rest, Fang. You can take a long one, and look out for those goblins on the stairs. All right, take it easy, guys. Later.
I appreciate it.
Bye. Of course.